Okay, what's up, everyone? This is David with the Bridge Broadcast. Okay, this is our remix of an episode that we recorded maybe a month ago, and then somehow I lost it. So we're doing it again. We've got Omar and Thomas with our JV Eagles. So, guys, welcome back. This is round 2 of this podcast. So I apologize. I don't know where it went, but thanks for jumping back on this.
Yes, sir.
I guess I'll introduce myself. Hello, my name is Omar. I'm a sophomore now. I've been playing for like 4 years, I think, and I'm pretty much gonna be the goalie for varsity.
Oh, you know that for sure?
I mean, there's no one else. There's no one else.
Solidified.
All right, Thomas, go ahead.
My name is Thomas. I've been playing since 3rd grade, and I play defense, and I'm gonna be starting defense for.
Oh my gosh!
You already know.
All right. Well, the focus of this podcast isn't just where you guys are going to end up next year. A lot of it too is just to recap the JV season, because we have talked a lot about the 2 varsity teams, the Panthers and the Eagles varsity teams, and their title wins. But can't forget about you guys as the JV group who, did some fun stuff, had a great season, went through your own set of challenges and had your own set of successes on the field and off the field.
Interesting moments.
Some interesting moments, yeah.
Yep.
So why don't we start with this? Thomas, why don't you give us your recap of the JV Eagles season?
So the recap of the Eagles season, I think overall it was good. We started off rocky, obviously, with the murder by Jesuit, but that game kind of showed everybody, it kind of proved to everybody who's there, who's ready and who's not. For in that first game, how everybody played that first game basically carried on for the rest of the season. So it's the people that dedicated that in their entire, they put their body on the line for that game, they was just prepared, came out and showed out that game, even though we didn't score. That showed for the rest of the season that their commitment was there. And then the second game, we beat High Point, right? Omar, that was the second game, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's second.
Yeah, it was a long gap in between. But
Yeah, we had 7 canceled games, something like that.
Yeah,
exactly, a whole month. But we beat High Point by 2 points, and that was a good game. It was interesting because we were getting cocky once we got in the lead, because we started to lose it. We was like, oh no. It got real bad for a second, but luckily we pulled out with it. And then we played Bishop Lynch for a very interesting game. That game was honestly just odd. That was just
and that was their varsity team you played. This was week.
Yeah, still embarrassing.
Yeah, but nonetheless, we had a better team than they did. We knew how to. I mean, we
not according to the score.
We're more athletic. I'll say that.
More athletic, and we could actually pass and catch a little bit. They couldn't pass and catch at all.
Then why'd they beat you?
Well, they beat us because
I guess they're all around. I don't know.
Well, I mean, it was just decisions on our half. They had everybody playing everything. Their D-poles played shorty, their shorties played D-pole. They didn't even have a real goalie. They had an LSM at goalie. Everybody was doing face-offs, so they were all around balanced, but they weren't a better team than us overall. We just lost because of we kind of broke down because
a lot of mental errors.
It kind of went
A lot of mental errors.
Yeah, it kind of went the rest of the season. That Bishop Lynch game kind of dictated the rest of the season because it was we offense couldn't get anything moving that game, and defense was just having to do everything, and mentally defense just was not prepared to have to play defense the entire game, because that's basically what was happening.
Yeah, we stopped.
Keep the ball for a couple minutes. Well, not a minute, if that. And then they
we would stop them every possession.
Yeah,
every time we stop them, they get the ball back, and they would have no chance to shoot. not like they have
Right.
good defense or anything, but like we just can't make opportunities happen.
Yeah, because Bishop Lynch, I remember that game. There was like so many open shots that we could have took, but we, didn't do anything.
Okay, and then what happened? And
But
then keep going. Then after the BL game,
Mm,
after the Bishop Lynch game, we had the High Point game, which that game just, yeah.
the second
Uh,
high point game.
the second High Point game was just wow. They came out and they wanted to win, so I give them that props. I don't think that High Point is a bad team. I think that they're not a better team than us, but I don't think that they're a bad team. But that honestly just surprised. That just stunned us right there because we
yeah,
thought that we could have come back, that we could have came back, but we just weren't there. Then again, we had problems going on with like players showing late. How many subs we had that game? Like two.
yeah, 2 subs
We had
or
two
3 maybe,
subs
but
and oh yeah, two subs. We had Buddy was playing deep hole.
mm,
Elijah went to deep hole.
yep,
We, we was kind of lost. Kaidir played midi because coach made him play midi, and so Kaidir was playing defense, and he did not like that. And it was just it didn't go well. Cause what's funny is that we had a similar game like that in eighth grade. Omar, I don't think you were there, but
no,
we
but
we in my eighth grade year, you probably were there
no, I
because
wasn't.
it
I
was.
wasn't.
Oh, you missed it. Yeah, my eighth grade year, we had a game where we only had one sub, and that one sub was Miles, and everybody else but Miles like stayed in the game for the entire game, and so um, we that was a tough game. We only lost by like 2 points. I think Jeremiah was there,
Wasn't it?
Kylier. Like we had a good roster. Elijah was playing goalie and everything, and it was a very it was a very good game. That was one of my favorite games, but we lost by 2 points and it was sad because we were in the lead for a good amount. Like it was a back and forth game, but they just had more numbers. So the High Point game was kind of like that in my eyes, but everybody wasn't prepared because everybody was like gassed. Everybody was gassed. Like I
Oh
saw
yeah,
JB gassed and that shocked me. So everybody everybody was just gassed out, just couldn't run no more, and I'm just trying to stay alive and get across field. And it was tough, man.
So high point
And
round two
High
didn't go
Point,
our way.
yeah.
What was the rest of your season like? I can't
After
remember.
that,
that
after
was
that we had
Omar's.
Kettler.
Oh yeah,
We didn't have that many subs either. Like
yeah.
Kettler had to like have some players play for us because we didn't have
That's
enough
right.
players.
Yeah,
Uh, that game, I mean, pretty much went the same way. Like
tough.
our defense was like had to put in all the work. Our offense, we couldn't do anything. Like we scored, but like the players that scored was literally like the players from their team,
Oh right.
so it wasn't like satisfying. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? I mean, it felt satisfying, but it wasn't really there.
not quite the same as your own teammates.
Yeah,
Bridge players scoring against the opponent.
like I don't even know their names. Like I can't really like go number 9.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And then who would you have
after
after
that,
Keller?
who was it? Journey Valley?
No, Grapevine. Y'all play Grapevine.
Oh, Grapevine. Yeah, they just destroyed us. I mean,
Oh yeah, that was tough.
we had yeah, Thomas couldn't play. We had like one less defender, so they had like
Oh,
easy
you weren't
fast
there at the
breaks on
Grapevine
us.
game either.
Hmm?
You weren't at the Grapevine game either.
No, it's at the Grapevine game, but couldn't do much. We like our defense like consisted of Elijah and Alex. So and I
Hmm.
mean they're not really like good at sliding or anything like that. So as soon as like one person got past,
Yeah.
they might slide, but like I mean it's just 2-on-1, and that easy door stop like shots on
Yeah.
me.
So,
Yeah,
and that was the last game of the season,
me and
right?
Alexander talked about that. Yeah, Grapevine was the last game of the season. Me and Alexander had talked about it, and all it really was is that um, there was no one really leading on defense but Omar. So when Omar's the only one trying to yell out the calls, along with watching the ball movement that they got going on, it's kind
Mm.
of difficult. So
Yeah. So we finished the season. Grapevine's last game. You finished with 1 win, 6, 7 losses, whatever. Competitively, yeah, tough season. And it's kind of what is typical for JV
It's
Bridge.
whatever.
Yeah. So give me some of the highlights and like what were the points that were really strong for this team?
There were good highlights for each game except for Bishop. I mean, not Bishop Lynch, except for Jesuit.
So
Except
you
for the
did.
Jesuit
So
game,
nothing great came from nothing positive came from the Jesuit game.
What came
No.
positive from the Jesuit game was we found that Omar was like a god because Omar came in like we didn't expect Omar to play the entire game because we were trying to we had
Elijah
discussed it
came
with Omar
like
and Elijah.
Oh, you were still
Elijah
splitting
we're
time?
like we were planning it out. They said like, oh yeah, we're gonna split 50-50. You play first half, he plays the other half.
Oh,
I was like, I'm good with that.
Right, yeah.
And then as soon as like we both come to the game,
then-
like Elijah comes in with the fiddle string.
Yeah, he only
Well,
had
he didn't have a real goalie stick.
He didn't have
No-
anything. He didn't have
no
pads,
pads.
no helmet, no cleats.
Ooh.
No, nothing.
So we're like,
And so he just had that fiddle stick, and he was just coaching from the side, just not even really coaching, just watching the game. So,
Okay.
yeah.
So the
Omar
positive,
stepped in that
so the
entire
positive
game.
was that positive for the Jesuit game is that Omar solidified his spot
I
as
just show
the
off
goalie.
Yeah, because previous to that game, in practices, like Omar didn't get a lot of time to play in practice. It was really Elijah, so we could see, his improvement. And Omar would rotate, and he, did good when he was in there, but we really wasn't thinking that he would play the entire game. That was like the farthest thing. But when it happened, he did really good. Got a couple key saves and everything. So
Nice.
yeah.
What else? What
Then
are some
we
other
had
spotlights of the season?
I mean, the first high point
So
game.
the first high point game, obviously, because we won, and then I say my favorite moment was when we were clearing the ball, and Omar passed the ball to me, and I just run straight down, and I'm like, everybody on High Point, because High Point played me before freshman year, and they remember that when I played freshman year, every time I got the ball, I would run across, not because I wanted to, because I had to, because the middies wouldn't get open. So it was either Julian or me last year against High Point, just running across field, trying to clear the ball. So High Point knew that, so they tried to stop me from running. They were double team every time I got the ball, and so I was going. And there was one time where they didn't double team on me, and I was like, I stopped at midfield. Omar, you remember?
Yeah, I
I
remember
stopped
that.
at midfield and I faked the ball, and I made it look so real. Like I put my stick down and everything. Like and I looked around, and then I kind of like walked back a little bit, and then I just passed the ball to JB, and then I just turned around and I started laughing at him. That was the best moment. Because he walked
highlight.
all the way back. That's the highlight. He walked straight back to Omar. Like he was not expecting me to still have the ball. If one of the middies would have stayed back, I would have crossed.
What about as a team then? What are some highlights and spotlight as a team?
As team, obviously we had obviously we won.
And that was our best offensive game because we had
scored more than 3 goals,
but we scored. So it was a good game. That was the real highlight. But
what else other than the High Point game? You guys are just giving me the one win. There's got to be other things from the season though.
Bishop Lynch was
good
a
defensive
really
game.
good game. That had some high points there. That has some real highlights right there in Bishop Lynch. Omar dominated. Only one goal went in on Omar, and it didn't.
No goals actually.
No goals went in on Omar. No goals. Only one. Because I looked back at it. I found the footage somehow.
Wait, Omar, you only let in one goal. What was the final score?
No, I let in 0.
It wasn't. He didn't let
Elijah
in the goal.
let in
It was the
goals.
fact that the goal.
Because you guys were splitting time then for that game.
No, I think
Omar,
they let in a goal, but like
no, that's me.
I think they had like a crazy violation or something, so it didn't count.
Yeah.
But
what was the final then?
Final was like 2-3.
Oh, okay.
But like I played for like 2 quarters. I let in 0 goals. Elijah played for other 2 quarters. He let in 3 goals.
Oh, gotcha.
But I mean,
yeah, and it wasn't the best. Like it wasn't the best quarters. That was coach's decision because Elijah didn't play in the High Point game because he didn't show up to practice in between that Jesuit and High Point game. So they didn't let him play, even though he brought his entire pads in the High Point game. So, and Bishop Lynch, they let them play the second and third quarter, and it did not go our way. Because here was the thing: every shot that they shot, it wasn't open. Like they didn't have any open shots, and if they did, it would go like wide left. So any open shots that they had, it didn't matter. But the goals that went in, they were all contested.
You had a challenging season in terms of wins and losses.
Yep.
Some highlights from a handful of the games. Sounds like numbers were a big issue, which is, pretty typical, and I would say probably even more the norm because of COVID. What were ways that you all kind of kept the core group of the team together then?
Honestly, probably the group, man. Because we could
Yeah.
it's probably that like group chat that we had.
Okay.
We could all talk to each other. Like we pretty much like kind of see what we're doing. Like
Just
pretty much just talk about like our games and like kind of what we did wrong and also what like we should be doing.
just a way to stay connected away from the field then.
Mm-hmm.
That helped.
We identified the core group as people that showed up to practice all the time, or they would miss one practice out of the month or out of 2 weeks, if that. So, that core group was the defense, and the attack, like Kaidir. So, yeah, the middies would always like change. That's why it was difficult in the season because the core group was based off of defense and the attack and the offensive, but midfielders who got to do the transitions and whatnot, they some of them couldn't really show up for their reasons, so that kind of made it difficult. But that core group that we had that showed up all the time, we all kept contacting the group, and the way that you were like a core group member, the way that we knew is if you would respond. Like everybody else would just kind of just leave it on red. They just wouldn't, say anything. They look at it,
Yeah.
scan through it, then just go on with the rest of the day. The core group responded. The core group responded. We tried to get practices in that, on the weekends and whatnot. So that was the core group that would do that.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
So, Omar, you at the end of your season, the JV season kind of ended a few weeks prior to the varsity. We called you up to the varsity team. Walk us through like that transition playing from, playing a year of JV to now getting the invite to practice with and run with the varsity boys for their championship and playoff run. What was that like?
I mean, yeah. So obviously, season has ended. I'm like I'm not like obviously proud about it, but I mean, I'm not gonna like let that like just like kill me or because I mean we didn't really have the players or that like were dedicated enough to like put in like all the effort. Like our team wasn't like so solid that like like I wasn't emotional about like losing basically.
Right.
So I was like, I guess it's all right. I guess I'll just like rest and I don't know. I guess watch some Netflix or something. And then I just check my phone. Like, no, I receive a text. Check my phone. It says you've been promoted to varsity. I'm like, what?
Were you
Like,
so you were surprised?
Yeah, I was so surprised. It was like middle of the night maybe. And I get a text saying I've been promoted. You're going to the practice tomorrow or something like that. It's like I guess I'm a varsity player now.
So then tell me what it was like practicing with the varsity boys.
I mean, you can honestly see how much better they are than the JV. I mean, not like we were too bad, but like you can see how much they're better in fundamentals like passing, catching, also like stuff like shooting. They can like easily get open, like get a good shot off. They also had a scheme like Hopkins. They knew how to like move the ball around, how to make people like just get chances to score. Like we couldn't like do that at all. Like in the JV, no opportunities like to shoot, or even if we did, like it was always like contested maybe.
Yeah, a lot more advanced on the varsity side. Do you feel like you got a lot better in that 2 weeks of practice with the varsity? Substantially better?
Oh yeah, I definitely felt so. I mean,
yeah, just because the shooters were higher caliber.
Mm-hmm. And then also I see what like Yvonne was doing.
Oh, right. You could, yeah, because you were shadowing Kevon as the varsity
Yep.
starter. Yeah. Thomas, you were watching the varsity, obviously around. Like, what did you see, like the bigger differences between, other than skill set, right? That's pretty obvious between a JV and a varsity team. But what were some other elements of varsity that you saw that were different between the two teams, between varsity and your team?
Well, I played in the Prestonwood game for varsity. Me, JB, and Kyler got called
Oh,
up
that's right. We
for
called.
that
Yeah, you
game.
guys got called up for that game. I forgot.
Yeah, that was an exciting game. I like varsity because it's real fast. Like everything's fast motion, fast pace, and
Yeah.
fast motion and everything, and you have to adjust to it well. Like I'm not that good of an LSM, but that was all that I could play in that Prestonwood game. So I adjusted. I think that I adjusted pretty well to it, but I didn't get many opportunities to like do one-on-one defense. You know what I mean? So that's one thing that varsity kind of teaches you, like that patience, because in JV everybody's brave, everybody's bold. Like they don't care who you are. They'll just take you on one. So it's like it doesn't really matter. But and it's exciting because you get to go against someone one-on-one, and it's easier. But it's more difficult because you got to watch off ball cuts and whatnot, and the ball movement that they got going on. We was man down in that game for a good amount of time, and I even had to step in that goalie in that person
Oh, yeah, that's right.
because Keefon got a penalty. So, but
How'd that go,
that was
for you, by the way?
well, 3 shots, 3 saves. So I say it went well, but it did hurt. I like felt the pain in my thigh for like a good week or two.
So you're saying you didn't make the save with your stick then?
See the one save that I had that was about to go to my stick. It like I went like this and it just hit me right in the helmet, just right in the grill, and it just popped up. And we was all like, "Hey yo!" We all just see the ball just flying in the air, and then they take another shot and it hits me in the thigh. They get it back, they miss a couple shots, and then they take one more, and then I think that one ended up like hitting me in the chest or something. And or no, not the chest. That one hit me in the foot. It was a kick save, and so that one like flew, and and the whole minute, because the penalty was a minute. For that entire minute, they used that entire minute shooting on me. So no offense whatsoever. We didn't get the ball across the field, but that it was exciting. It was cool.
We graduated 16 seniors. Big chunk of the varsity championship team. What are you all doing to prepare, or what do you all, how do you all think this fall season will come with a new team? We'll go with a new team.
I think it'll go well since we already got chemistry, like in some type of way.
Yeah.
Like most of us going on the varsity this year are JV players. That's one, and then two, the how many from varsity that are staying? The three.
No, more than
Xavier,
that.
no Xavier, no. I'm talking about the seniors for this year. Xavier,
Oh,
Julian, and Josiah. Because we've all played with Miles, we've all played with Adrian. So Xavier, Julian, Josiah, you know, we've mostly played with them too. Like I haven't played with Josiah much, but I played with Julian and Xavier.
yeah.
And so you know, that that's Cambridge. I played defense with Julian freshman year.
Yeah. So
So
you're feeling confident about how the team will
oh
kind
yeah.
of reload, you know, in terms of the bonds and
Mhm.
relationships. Okay.
and
Omar, what are you
and
thinking
you
about?
know the load won't be all on Omar, so I'm excited for that too because
Yeah.
Bo's coming up. So yeah,
Omar, what are your thoughts?
I mean, I guess I'm just looking forward to it. Just seeing, obviously, as Thomas said, we have chemistry. I mean, I haven't like played with like everyone, but I mean, but with the people I have played with, it's basically like all the defense. I think I haven't played with Julian, but I
yeah,
pretty much
same
know
here.
everyone. I know what everyone's like will be like doing, I guess.
Yeah.
And also, like, I guess this year I've been trying to look at some like IPLO games, just trying to see how just trying to see like how sliding works because I didn't really understand defense whenever I did go into goalie. So if someone made a bad slide, or if someone didn't slide, I wouldn't be able to point it out because I have no idea what they were supposed to do.
So you've learned quite a bit.
Yeah. So yeah, since I'm pretty much like in the back, I could like see what everyone's like should be doing wrong or right. I mean, yeah, I'm just looking forward to it.
Good. What about, with that senior class out the door, who are some guys that you all looked up to as JV players from that graduating class?
I know for me, I had access to the huddle to look at the footage.
Oh
So
yeah.
I like looked at literally every single game from like the first one with, Demarie KG. So like
Oh, so you went
I'd
back. I mean,
say
you were going back
yeah.
into the archives. I gotcha.
Yeah, I was looking at like every single game. When the next game came up, I would be texting you asking, I'd be like, when are you putting the game online on huddle? And so yeah, I'd say one player that I look up to from this past year, I'd say Marcus. Because I like his game. It's really physical, and it's like he's tall, but he's a smaller player compared to the size of these midfielders and these attackmen that we played against. They're like 6'3", 220. Like Trinity Valley were basically football players, and Marcus hasn't played football. He's like skinny. He just goes and he just plays like a football player, just physically dominant. So I'd say that, and Kylan's footwork, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I definitely say that I looked up to Marcus this year.
Yeah.
And how he played.
Omar, what about you?
I mean, I feel like I really only have one person I could look up to.
Yeah, there's other. I mean, there's certainly other aspects of other players.
I mean, obviously for goalie and Kevon, he's the only one that's like above me right now, or I guess like in bridge. But I guess like for other like positions, definitely Marcus on defense. For attack, I've like, I mean, Homer has really. I just like the way he's like, he could like just like body people and also just like look for feeds.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's good that you mentioned your brother. He's definitely been a leader and a really great example of hard work and really good skill and humility and just someone who has a lot of fun playing. That's I'm a big fan of your brothers.
Jacoby, and definitely Jacoby on
the Jacoby.
Yeah,
because when I look at Jacoby's game, I'm like, man, that's a lot of willpower. Because he just, I mean, he has moves and shifty moves, but think about it, like he takes like so many hits every single time he gets there. Like they always find a way to get him hard with the stick or hit him with the body. He just bounces off of it and keeps going and scores. So I'd say that determination and willpower from Jacoby is just crazy.
It's funny you mentioned that. I'm thinking about a lot of the physical aspects of that group versus this next coming class. There's definitely a lot more physical play from that senior class than we've probably ever had, at least in terms of staying healthy.
They had the size
and things like
that were intimidating.
Yeah, exactly.
We kind of got more to prove this year because we're all kind of on the smaller side of the scale, so we have to be more physical than this last senior class was.
Yeah,
or than this last team was.
What are some things that we need to do sort of off the field to, essentially repeat? What are those things that look like? Because this is the team that just won didn't have a lot of those opportunities because of COVID. We weren't doing spring training. We weren't doing, we weren't doing our workout sessions. We weren't doing the conditioning over at Oak Fit. That looks like it's going to happen. How are you all planning on taking advantage of those off-field opportunities?
Well, we all need to sign up for those, activities and those workouts and whatnot. Select team. We need to be on that. We need to, be on top of working by ourselves while nobody's looking. And for the one main thing I'll say is grades, because JV had a real chance, but like me and Chris and a couple other players that could have been helpful for like the entirety of the season, we couldn't show up to games and we missed games or practices because of grades and because of school. So we can keep that on top and not miss any players for school reasons or hopefully any other reasons, and stay together and keep putting in the work. We'll be fine.
I like it. That's a really great lesson and reminder to all the teams. We got to stay on top of our academics if you want to see the field.
Yeah.
Omar, what about you? Are there certain things from the kind of off-field stuff that we'll hopefully return to? It looks like we will, that you're looking forward to?
I mean, I don't really have much to add on, but I mean, we always need to take advantage of the opportunities we're getting, like sign up for them, show up. I mean, really important to like show up and like
Yeah.
pretty much just like condition yourself, get ready for the new season.
Give 100%.
Yeah. Omar, because
Also,
you haven't done spring training with us, the overnight, did you?
no.
Okay, so this will be this coming January will be your first overnight spring training.
Yep.
You'll have a great time. It's gonna be freezing cold, but you'll have a great time.
Yeah, the 2 years ago or a year and a half ago was tough. It was snowing on our way up.
Yeah, it was horrible. It was freezing cold, and we were like staying like up at night, just. And
Well, that's y'all's fault for staying up,
and we were putting in the work,
knowing that you all had to wake up at 6:30 to work out, to do
we didn't
conditioning.
go to sleep till like 12 o'clock.
No, some of y'all were up way later than that.
I know I was, because I had to take a shower late. So
yeah. So we're gonna do, Omar. We're gonna try to bring back a lot of the different aspects of preparing for the season that some of y'all didn't do as freshmen. Overnight spring training. We want to do a full week of conditioning at one of the gyms nearby. That's a partner of ours. So you'll get a different level of preparation going into what looks like your first full varsity season. You do have some competition though this year. What are you doing to kind of prepare? You're obviously kind of the next in line, but there's a couple other goalies who are kind of in there with you. I know Elijah's talked about moving over to defense, but he's still by and large a really good goalie. And then you've got a freshman coming up in Bo, who's had a pretty good season. He played a great 8th grade year and played some summer league with us.
because he's an amazing player. Like I coached his team.
Yeah. Omar, what are you doing to kind of stay sharp for your goalie skills?
I mean, I gotta keep working. I mean, you can grind never stops.
What do you do? Like, what are you doing specifically though?
Specifically, I mean, I've been I guess working out a little bit. I haven't been able to go to the gym recently, but I've been like trying to like do some push-ups at home, do my squats, pretty much like stuff that'll I guess help me be a little bit more explosive.
Okay.
Yeah, you
And also obviously,
shoot on you.
yeah, my brother next door, like literally next to me. We could just like say like, oh, let's go inside for it. Like I could take a little shots, and he would do it like, yeah, he would shoot on me with like tennis balls, cause I mean,
Yeah, he's gonna hurt you.
yeah, I don't want to get some real balls, but I mean, tennis balls do the trick. I mean,
Yeah.
I gotta keep working.
Good. Yeah, it'll be interesting to have like a real, a pretty good, battle for goalie. Like again, Omar, you're kind of next in line, but it certainly doesn't mean you shouldn't put in the work to stay sharp. What about you, Thomas? What are you doing to kind of stay ready for the incoming fall season and next spring?
I say for me, I've been working out. I've been working with my stick every day, stick skills, left and right. I've been, I try to work on cardio every day because I get gassed out. I mean, I don't get gassed out easily, but it's obvious that I'm kind of gassed out. Like I'll stay in the game the entire game, but you can see like after I'm done making a play or playing defense, once the ball gets to the other side, I'm like hunched over, just trying to catch my breath. So I'm trying to, work on that and everything. And yeah, and I've been trying to just look at who we got to play next year, scouting kind of.
Oh, you love to do game film, don't you?
Yeah, I love to scout.
Yeah,
to see what we got to work on and everything.
I gotcha.
Yeah, because you said it a lot. Like we really got to worry about Trinity Valley this year, and that's kind of scary. So.
They don't graduate. They graduate 0 seniors. It's going to be, a bigger, better team from what we had last season. So yeah.
Yeah, but I like the team that we got, the team that we could have, and I'm excited for Andrew to come back. Chris said that he gonna come back, so I'm excited for that. Aiden, he's coming up, and he'll be just a solid defensive player all around, no matter what position he plays. Whether he's playing pole or shorty, it doesn't matter. He'll be a solid defensive player.
Yeah, I agree.
Because his footwork is way better than mine. His footwork is better than mine because he doesn't like it. He doesn't like get in defensive position. Like he plays defense standing straight up, and he doesn't get beat. So yeah, that's really good. And then obviously I'm looking forward to seeing Omar and Bo battle it out in practices. That's gonna be fun. And I say for sure, I think Elijah's going to improve a lot this year. We're all going to improve, but I'm excited to see Elijah. Like I've already told him I'm going to work out with him and help him and everything, but I really want to see it. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it definitely, and I think it's going to be exciting. Hopefully we can repeat. You know what I mean? We got a lot to look forward to and a lot to go off of. So yeah.
Yeah, very cool. Last question then, in terms of making that jump from JV to varsity, again, assuming you all make, varsity.
I know, assuming, coach.
What's one accomplishment, other than, obviously repeating, what's one thing you all really want to accomplish at the varsity level, you personally and as a team?
Omar.
I mean, I don't really need to think here, but honestly, I just hope you just improve all around. Like, hopefully, since we're not losing our seniors, we can still keep our offense sharp. Our defense could also be sharp as well. Pretty much keep the same effort that we put in last year to this year.
What about for you personally, as an individual goalie? What do you want to be successful at?
I mean, I just want to have good stats. I mean, in my games. I mean, honestly, you can't really you can tell whenever you're doing well, in practice and stuff like that. But I feel like what it's all up to is just seeing how well you perform, after all the hard work you put in.
Yeah, goalie and face-off are kind of unique, and that is that there's a pretty obvious statistic, to your success. Thomas, what about you?
I'll say obviously team was trying to go back to the championship, trying to, because we got a completely different roster, basically a completely different look and feel. So we got more to work. We got more to work for. We're getting pushed twice as hard. So just, to meet the goal and everything and, do what we got to do. And personally, I just want to be the guy that, my team can rely on. I felt like I was that in JV. I was the guy that my coach could rely on. I was the guy that, Omar could rely on. So
Omar, I was going to ask you, Omar, is that true?
I mean, yeah. I mean, there was really no other defenseman like Thomas.
That's good to hear.
In JV, yeah.
Boys, I appreciate y'all jumping on. I apologize. I lost the original footage, but this was fun to do kind of a second time around. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, no problem.